Hello, my name is Michael Price from Journey. I'm a sales recruiter. I have been for 25 years. I'm currently recruiting for a role which is selling Microsoft Business Applications, and I'll go through the role in the company in more detail and what they're looking for. So the company is a £40 million partner who've just had a big investment, and I'm going to go a little bit off piste here because I know there's a slide, but I'll cover all that. But I've known this sales director for 20 years. I've recruited for this company for about 5 years. I've known the chief exec, I've placed people here. They're a major client that I do a lot of work with. And what happened is there's a void being created in the Microsoft business application market because 3 companies were bought, and that sort of left 3 other companies. My client is one of those 3. So the first part of their equation of success is there's a void for them to fill. The next part of their equation for success is they recruited a CRO who's been in the Microsoft market for years, who knows that market back to front, who knows what works. The next part of their success is they've just had backing. And with all of those 3 things, they're going to take them, or their plan is to get to 100 million. I've been recruiting for this CRO in this business. I've recruited for him previously, but in this business for a year. They've smashed all the numbers. They're absolutely bang on target to get where they need to get to. If you look at the Microsoft market, if you're not involved in the Microsoft market, I think the easiest way to break it up is to say that you've got business applications and say you've got infrastructure. So business applications, ERP, CRM, CE, that's Microsoft BC, it's FSCM, it's Power Platform. And then on the infrastructure side of things, you've got the Azure platform and you've got the security products that go neatly into that, things like Defender. This company has certainly broken it down into those 2 parts, and then this role itself is focusing on business applications. They're quite mixed in terms of commercial and public sector. This is more focused on commercial. So in terms of this actual role, in terms of what the client's looking for here, this is a new business sales role. They do have a very good position in the market, and they do get leads. And of course, you've got this crossover between the applications team and between the infrastructure team. And of course, if a company's looking at the application layer, they may be looking at the security layer. If they're looking at the security layer, they may be looking at the application layer. But actually, really, this job is focused on new business. That doesn't mean bashing the phone. The relationship with Microsoft is very important and it's something that they leverage a lot. But they do really want somebody who understands how to get into new business. I've put here that it's average order value of between 250 and 350k. That really is quite a broad average. So let's look at what they're looking for in terms of their requirement. The most important thing here, the most important word that you can see on this screen is the word hunter. And I think if you've got a good hunter, if you're a good hunter, I should say, then actually everything else will go by the wayside. But actually, how many good hunters are there out there? Not as many as people would like to think. But then if we look at it in a little bit more detail, from a tech perspective, it would be great if you're in the Microsoft market. If you're in the Microsoft market, you will know who this company is. But beyond that, the client will look at good, solid application software salespeople. From a personal perspective, I always bang on about stable track records. Lots of my clients bang on about stable track records. That's important. And they want somebody who clearly is a hunter. And they're quite open from a vertical perspective. Package, 80k basic, double OTE. There's a good long-term incentive here as well. It's certainly not stock from day one, but that is certainly something that will happen in the fullness of time. And also, if you imagine you've got a company that's going to go from 40 to 100 million, that brings with it lots of personal career growth as well. My contact details are on the screen, also the email address of my colleague Jo. It's unlikely I'll speak to her, but she and I do work very closely together, so I've included her email address. Thank you. I'll hopefully speak to you soon.